It usually starts with something small, innocent even. Let's say it's a Sunday afternoon. You're in John Lewis or wandering through a Curry's, and you decide your kitchen looks a bit tired. You don't have the money for a full renovation, so you treat yourself. You buy a new kettle, but not just any kettle. You buy a Dualit or a Smeg, one of those heavy, chrome, retro-designed beauties that costs nearly 200 quid. It's a statement piece. You take it home, polish it, and set it on the worktop. And that is when the problem begins. Because suddenly, your 4-slice toaster from Asda, the plastic one with the crumbs burned into the tray, looks absolutely dreadful next to this gleaming new kettle. It looks cheap. It looks like a mistake. So naturally, you go back and buy the matching toaster, another £200. Now the corner of the kitchen looks incredible. It looks like a showroom. But the laminate worktop they are sitting on, it's peeling slightly at the edges, and the splashback tiles are a bit dated, aren't they? In fact, under the glow of your new appliances, the entire kitchen looks drab. 6 months later, you're looking at quotes for granite worktops and a new floor, all because you bought a kettle. This isn't just you being hopeless with money, and it isn't just keeping up with the Joneses. This is a deeply wired psychological mechanism. It is a glitch in the human brain that marketers have been exploiting for centuries. It is called the Diderot Effect. Over the next 10 minutes, we are going to dismantle this trap. We're going to look at why buying one nice thing inevitably destroys your bank account, how it rewrites your identity, and, most importantly, how you can learn to enjoy nice things without spiraling into debt. To understand why we do this, we have to go back to France, 1765. Denis Diderot was a philosopher, a writer, and the co-founder of the Encyclopédie. He was brilliant, but for most of his life, he was broke. That changed when Catherine the Great of Russia heard of his financial troubles and offered to buy his library for a small fortune. Suddenly Diderot had cash, spare cash. So he acquired a beautiful new dressing gown. It was scarlet, made of the finest fabric, fit for a king. He loved it. But as he sat in his study wearing this magnificent robe, he noticed something unsettling. The rest of his room looked like a tip. His old straw chair? Rubbish. His wooden desk? Rickety and stained. The rug? Threadbare. The chaotic environment that had served him well for years was suddenly unworthy of the new gown. So the upgrading began. He replaced the straw chair with a leather armchair. He replaced the desk with expensive mahogany. He bought grand prints to cover the walls and a Damascus rug for the floor. Eventually, his study was a masterpiece of luxury. And Diderot? He was miserable. He sat in his perfect room, wearing his perfect robe, and realized he was no longer at home. He wrote an essay about this experience titled, "Regrets on Parting with My Old Dressing Gown." In it, he wrote a line that should be printed on every credit card statement in the UK. "I was the absolute master of my old dressing gown, but I have become a slave to my new one." This is the core of the Diderot effect. The introduction of a new possession into a consumer's existence will often result in a process of spiraling consumption. In modern psychology, we call that first purchase, the scarlet robe or the chrome kettle, an anchor item. An anchor item is dangerous because it doesn't just perform a function. It sets a standard. It changes your reality. Let's look at an example. Cycling. You decide to get fit. You sign up for the Cycle to Work scheme and buy a bike. Maybe you splash out on a carbon fiber road bike. It's an amazing piece of engineering. But you can't ride a carbon fiber bike in an old cotton t-shirt and a pair of Converse, can you? It looks ridiculous. The bike demands Lycra. It demands cleats. It demands a Garmin computer for the handlebars. You aren't just buying objects, you are building a cohesive picture. Sociologists call this the unity of goods. We humans have a deep need for our environment to feel consistent. We hate dissonance. When you have a £3,000 bike and £10 trainers, that is dissonance. It creates mental tension. The only way to resolve the tension is to upgrade the trainers. We see this everywhere. The Apple ecosystem. You buy the iPhone, then the cheap wired headphones feel wrong, so you get the AirPods. Then the Windows laptop feels clunky, so you get the MacBook. The DIY project. You buy a high-end drill. Suddenly your old mismatched screwdrivers annoy you. You need the matching toolbox. The anchor item is a Trojan horse. You think you're inviting a guest into your home, but you're actually inviting an invasion. But there is a deeper layer to this. It's not just about aesthetics. It's about identity. When Diderot bought the robe, he wasn't just buying clothing. He was trying to become a wealthy aristocrat. The problem was, a wealthy aristocrat doesn't sit on a straw chair. We do the same. We buy things to bridge the gap between who we are and who we want to be. Think about the New Year, New Me rush in January. You buy the premium yoga mat, the nutrient blender, and the subscription to the fancy app. You are buying the costume of a healthy person, hoping that if you wear the costume, the personality will follow. But the Diderot effect twists this. It tells you that the costume is never complete. There is always one more accessory needed to make the identity real. If you're a gamer, it's not enough to play the game. You need the mechanical keyboard, the stream deck, the ambient lighting. If you're into coffee, the Nespresso machine is eventually shameful. You need the burr grinder, the V60, the precise scales. We become curators of our lives rather than living them. We are building a set for a movie where we are the star, but we spend all our money on the props and have nothing left for the script. So how do we stop it? How do we live in a world of infinite upgrades without going bankrupt? We cannot just live in caves, we need stuff. Here are 4 strategies to fight the Diderot effect. Strategy 1. Predict the system cost. When you are about to buy something expensive, stop looking at the price tag of that single item. Look at the price of the system it belongs to. If you want to buy a 4K OLED TV, don't just look at the £1,000 price. Ask yourself, will this make my current soundbar sound tinny? Will I need to upgrade my Netflix subscription to the premium tier? The true cost of an item is rarely the sticker price. It is the price of the chain reaction it triggers. If you can't afford the chain reaction, you can't afford the item. Strategy 2. The one in, one out rule. This is vital for preventing clutter, but also for curbing the upgrade spiral. If you buy a new coat, you must give an old one away. This forces you to value what you have. It stops you from accumulating a collection. Diderot didn't get into trouble because he had a robe. He got into trouble because he kept adding things around the robe. Strategy 3. Embrace wabi-sabi, or the eclectic aesthetic. The Diderot effect relies on our desire for everything to match perfectly. The antidote is to deliberately not match. We used to be quite good at this. The shabby chic country house, the Emma Bridgewater mugs, the old armchair next to the modern lamp. If you cultivate an aesthetic where things are allowed to be old, worn and mismatched, you become immune to the Diderot effect. A shiny new laptop looks fine on a scratched-up vintage desk if that's your style. Don't aim for the showroom look. Showrooms are for selling things, not for living in. Strategy 4. Go cold turkey. The 1-month rule. When you feel the urge to upgrade an accessory, to buy the matching toaster, wait 1 month. Usually the Diderot effect is an impulse driven by that initial dopamine hit of the first purchase. After 30 days, the new kettle is just a thing that boils water. The urge to match it will fade as the item becomes part of the background noise of your life. We live in a society that is engineered to make you dissatisfied. The entire economy relies on you feeling that what you have is nearly perfect, but not quite. There is nothing wrong with quality. There is nothing wrong with buying a beautiful coat, a fast car, or a comfortable chair. The danger lies in letting the object dictate your life. Denis Diderot eventually realized his mistake. He looked back at his old dressing gown with fondness. He missed its ink stains and its frayed edges because they told the story of his work. The new gown was just a costume. So the next time you find yourself standing in a shop, eyeing up an upgrade that you know will make the rest of your stuff look like rubbish, just pause. Ask yourself, are you buying this because you need it, or are you just polishing the set? Be the master of your dressing gown. Don't let it master you. Right, hopefully that made sense. If you want more honest money tips without the waffle, do me a massive favor. Hit the like button and make sure you subscribe to the channel. Let's get your money sorted. See you in the next one. Cheers.